Hi, everybody. We are going to look at Slope-Intercept Form today. Slope-Intercept Form is an amazing tool that you can use for graphing. It's super duper 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 helpful in terms of finding slope, finding y-intercept, hence Slope-Intercept Form for its name. And it can be really, really, really helpful for just creating quick equations. So slope intercept form. That is our job for dissecting and understanding today. Slope-intercept form. So slope-intercept form is when we write equations where it's y equals our slope times x plus our y-intercept. So we're going to break this down really quick so we can see it really easily and we can sort of figure it all out. This m, which we've been playing around for the last couple of lessons, is our slope. It's called m because m stands for, I know I'm going to totally ruin the pronunciation. M stands for monter or something like that, which means to rise in French. Okay, so M stands for monter in French, which means to rise or to ascend, to go up. Okay, so M is our slope. Then we also have B, which is so awkward, but this is our y-intercept. I don't have any clue as to why we delineate it as the letter B, but we do. Okay, so our B in this equation is our y-intercept. That's where it crosses the y-axis. Wherever our line is, it crosses the y-axis there. We also have the x and the y, and the x and the y, we're never going to really change those unless we are searching for creating the equation in some way, shape, or form and doing it purely algebraically. But for the most part, x, that's where we have our input. If we ever wanted to figure out some ordered pairs for this, we would look at putting x in, or putting a number in for x and finding out what the y is. So our input, our independent variable, and then our y is our output or dependent variable. And this whole setup is incredibly helpful for us in terms of graphing. Okay, so this is what your equations will tend to look like when they're in slope-intercept form. It looks something like this. Y is equal to negative 2x plus 3. And given this information, we should be able to find our slope and our y-intercept really easily and then be able to use that information to graph something. So really quick, this negative 2 is our slope for the m. This positive 3 is our y-intercept. And I'm always going to be very, very careful about this because if this here ends up being negative, that means our y-intercept is negative. So because we need to look at our base equation has a plus sign here. So if this ends up being a minus sign, my y-intercept could potentially be negative. But this here is something that we can now graph. So if I were to take this information and start graphing it, I would do the following. I would take this 3, and that technically is a point. It's our y-intercept. So that means it's at 0, 3, or 0 on the x-axis and up 3 units on the y-axis. Now I have a point, 0, 3. I can then take my slope of negative 2 and use that to graph. Now, with a slope of negative 2, if I were to turn that into rise over run, which I'm going to tell you right now, never, 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 unless you need to turn it into dollars and cents, like if you need to see context in some word problem, do not ever turn your slope into a decimal. Why? Because a fraction instantly tells you, so I can turn a whole number into a fraction, it instantly tells me the rise over the run, which really helps with graphing. So from this point, I can then take this rise of negative 2, which means I'm going down 2 units, and then a running to the right 1 unit, and I can create a point. I can go down 2 units, a run of 1 unit, and create a point. Down 2 units, over 1 unit, create a point, which then allows me to draw, which is horrible, draw a line, and my line still is horrible. But I can draw a line given my slope of down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1, and so on. If I have my slope in fraction form, or I can turn a whole number into a fraction, then I can easily see my rise over run. It's really, 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 really helpful. So slope-intercept form, to wrap it up, we can easily see our slope and our y-intercept, which then allows us very nicely to graph a line. And it also allows us to take this graph and turn it into an equation. So we're going to practice graphing lines in slope-intercept form for this lesson. We'll be playing around with actually creating equations in slope-intercept form in future lessons. Okay, 2 more videos, maybe 3 for this unit, and then you are good to go. Thanks for watching. Bye.